Have you ever started a sentence, and by the time it leaves your mouth, it sounds like your brain handed your tongue the wrong script? It's that bizarre, out-of-body moment where you can almost hear the gears in your head grinding to a halt. You had the thought, it was perfect, crystal clear, ready to go. But somewhere on the journey from your brain to your lips, it took a wrong turn at Albuquerque. Suddenly, you're standing there, mouth slightly agape, with the conversational equivalent of a deflated souffle. The person you're talking to has that polite, slightly confused tilt to their head, waiting for you to land the plane, but you're not even sure where the runway is anymore. It's a feeling of profound disconnect, like you're a puppeteer who just dropped all the strings. Like you meant to say, "I'm so tired, I could really use a coffee." But what actually comes out is, "My socks are emotionally complicated." Or you're trying to ask your partner, "Have you seen my car keys?" And instead you blurt out, "Where is the shiny metal hand fruit?" You know what a key is, you know what a car is, but in that split second, the words just weren't there. It's not just about mixing up words. It's the frustrating chase for a word that's on the tip of your tongue, a word you've used 1,000 times before. It's like trying to grab smoke. You can see it, you know it's there, but it just slips through your mental fingers. This isn't just a simple slip-up. For many, it's a daily, exhausting battle with their own vocabulary. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you found us. This channel is a space where we break down the complex, often confusing world of multiple sclerosis in a way that's simple, straightforward, and most importantly, without the doom and gloom. We focus on the truth, on practical understanding, and on building a community where you feel seen and heard. We're not about scary statistics or worst-case scenarios. We're about living, coping, and even thriving. So, if you're living with MS, or you love someone who is, or you're just trying to understand what this condition is all about, you are absolutely in the right place. This channel exists to make MS make sense. We're here to demystify the symptoms, share strategies that actually work, and remind you that you are not alone on this journey. Consider hitting that subscribe button and joining our community. We're a collective of people navigating this together, sharing our truths, and supporting one another without judgment. We believe that knowledge is power, but community is strength. Because today, we're diving deep into one of the most common, yet least discussed, cognitive symptoms of MS. It's that very thing we just talked about, the word-finding difficulties, the brain fog, the moments that can make you feel like you forgot how to be a person. It's a symptom that doesn't show up on an MRI scan in an obvious way. It doesn't cause physical pain you can point to, but it can erode your confidence, create social anxiety, and make you feel profoundly isolated, like you're speaking a different language from everyone else around you. It can make you question your own intelligence and competence, even when you know, deep down, that you are still you. We're going to unpack why this happens, what it feels like from the inside, and most importantly, what you can do about it. So take a deep breath. Let's get into it. Let's talk about that moment, that incredibly specific, universally frustrating moment where you know the word, you see the word in your mind's eye, a perfect, shimmering concept. You can practically taste it, feel its shape on your tongue. It's right there, hovering just beyond the veil of your conscious thought, so close you could almost grab it. It's a feeling of pure cognitive dissonance, like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands. Your brain has the file, it knows the location, but the retrieval arm just stops. But your brain, in its infinite and sometimes baffling wisdom, is like, nope, access denied. Today, we're not using that word. Today we call that the hot food rectangle. And it's not just a blank space. Your brain becomes this bizarrely creative, almost poetic, substitute generator. It's not being lazy. It's working overtime, trying to build a bridge to the word it can't find by describing everything it. It's a detour, a scenic route your thoughts are forced to take. Suddenly, your internal thesaurus has been replaced with a toddler's picture book. The remote becomes the button stick for the picture box. The microwave is the food heater box. A spoon is a small food shovel. The refrigerator transforms into the cold cabinet of Destiny. Your car keys? The metal jingles for the driving machine. And that thing you use to water the plants? Oh, that's the house rainmaker. It's a strange, impromptu game of charades happening entirely inside your head, and the descriptions are the only clues you can give to the outside world. And the people you're talking to? They look at you with that signature blend of confusion and concern. Their brows furrow, a little head tilt. You can see the gears turning in their heads as they try to decode your new, improvised language. They're wondering, is this a joke? A new slang I missed? Are you okay? Their patience can be a gift, but sometimes you can feel the conversation grinding to a halt, the silence stretching as you search the mental archives. And you just want to hold up a sign that says, I am okay. My brain just switched to toddler mode for a second. Please stand by. It's not a reflection of your intelligence or your ability. It's a symptom, a glitch in the system. The key is to give yourself grace. Laugh at the absurdity of calling a spatula a flat food flipper. Take a breath. Describe the thing. Use your hands. Most of the time, people will meet you halfway. This isn't a failure. It's just your brain taking the scenic route. And sometimes the scenic route is a lot more interesting anyway.
How was your weekend?
Good. Meanwhile, in your brain, you just finished writing a novel. By the time your mouth answers, the conversation has moved on, and now you're responding to something that happened 3 topics ago. This is my personal favorite, when your brain chooses the wrong word, but with confidence. I'm going to put this in the dishwasher. I'm going to refrigerate the couch. And then you just stand there like, technically, that wasn't wrong. This is where MS turns you into a confused, motivational speaker. This is the part nobody talks about. You start feeling like you're not communicating like you used to. You know you're intelligent, but your words aren't cooperating. And that can mess with your confidence. You start second-guessing yourself, talking less, letting others finish sentences, or just nodding like you're buffering. To really understand why our words sometimes get stuck, we first need to appreciate just how miraculous normal conversation is. We tend to take it for granted, but communication is one of the most intricate, complex, and lightning-fast processes your brain performs. Think about it. You have a fleeting idea, a feeling, or an image in your mind, and in less than a second, you can translate that abstraction into precise sounds that another person can understand. It's an incredible feat of neural engineering that happens dozens of times a minute. It's like a perfectly synchronized orchestra. Multiple parts of your brain have to work together in absolute harmony. You have to conceptualize the thought, dive into your mental dictionary to find the perfect words, arrange them into a grammatically correct sentence, and then coordinate over 100 muscles in your tongue, lips, yow, and vocal cords to physically produce the sounds. And you have to do all of this while simultaneously listening to the other person and planning what you're going to say next. Now, here's where MS comes in. The demyelination caused by MS can slow down or disrupt the signals between these brain regions. It doesn't break the chain, but it essentially throws a tiny speed bump somewhere in that intricate process. For many of us, that speed bump lands right in the word-finding department, so the thought is still there, crystal clear in your mind. You can picture the object, you know what it does, you know you want to talk about it, but the signal to retrieve the specific label, the word itself, gets delayed or rerouted. It's not a problem with your intelligence or your memory of the concept. The brain just has to take a different, less efficient path to get to the destination. So the thought is still there, it just takes the scenic route. And while it's on that scenic route, you might find yourself saying the thing you put your feet on instead of ottoman, or the metal water holder instead of kettle. The destination is the same, but the journey is just a little more creative. Ever start a sentence and halfway through your brain just leaves? So what I was thinking is that we should probably... So what do? We compensate. You either talk slower, talk more, or over-explain everything. What I meant was, earlier, when we were talking, I was thinking, not that. But if this happens to you, You're not losing intelligence. You're not losing personality. You're not losing who you are. Your brain is just taking a slightly more scenic route. And honestly, sometimes the scenic route is hilarious. If you've ever felt like you can't communicate the way you used to, you're not alone, and you're definitely not making it up. Your brain still knows exactly what it's doing, it's just occasionally sending the message via carrier pigeon. If this made you feel seen, you're exactly who this channel is for. And if MS has ever made you say something completely wrong, I want to hear it in the comments, because honestly, some of them are comedy gold.